On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Kingdom.
The country ruled by a king or queen.
Examples:
Establish his kingdom. A subordinate kingdom. By remaining neutral, this kingdom continued to exist.
Jewel.
A precious stone that is cut and polished for use in jewelry.
Examples:
Jewel of the crown. Gleaming jewel. She treasured the small jewel that her grandmother had given her.
Crown.
A circular ornamental headdress, worn as a symbol of authority by a king, usually made of gold and precious stones.
Examples:
The imperial crown. The crown and throne. The bishop bestowed the golden crown on the king.
Intern.
To put someone in prison, especially for political or military reasons. Noun, a student or trainee who works, sometimes for free, to get work experience or to fulfill qualification criteria.
Examples:
Intern civilians. Medical intern. The Navy interned ships of defeated nations.
Mighty.
Very large, powerful, or strong.
Examples:
Mighty works. Struck a mighty blow. Only the mighty God has the power to brighten this dark land.
Ambition.
A strong wish to do or achieve something.
Examples:
An ambition for political power. Boundless ambition. Greed and ambition composed his personality.
Invite.
To ask someone to come or join, to offer an opportunity or possibility for something to happen or take place.
Examples:
Invite guests. Invite criticism. We want to invite you to our annual charity event.
Nation.
A large organized community of people living in a particular country or region and having a particular culture.
Examples:
Nation state. A seafaring nation. The nation of Japan is known for its unique culture and advanced technology.
Migrant.
A traveler who moves from one region or country to another, especially to find work or better living conditions, a bird or an animal that moves from one place to another.
Examples:
Migrant worker. The movement of migrant birds. The government revoked his license to employ migrant labor crews.
Settle.
To reach an agreement of disagreement.
Examples:
Settle a dispute. Settle down in the town. I don't want to settle for second best.
Unexpected.
Not anticipated or regarded as likely to happen.
Examples:
An unexpected visitor. Some unexpected events. The unexpected rainstorm caused the collapse of the corral.
Medical.
Relating to the treatment of illness or injuries, relating to the practice of medicine.
Examples:
A medical opinion. Temporary medical treatment. The medical team worked quickly to save the patient's life.
Personnel.
A group of people who are employed in an organization or one of the armed forces, the department responsible for hiring, training, and placing employees.
Examples:
Competent personnel. Personnel evaluation. Please forward the resumes to the personnel department.
Counseling.
The process of providing guidance and support to someone, often in a therapeutic or professional context, to help them overcome personal or emotional difficulties and improve their mental health and well-being.
Examples:
Counseling about risk management. Career counseling. I am going to counseling to work through my anxiety and depression.
Release.
To set free or allow to escape from confinement.
Examples:
Release a prisoner. Release CO2 into the air. The animal rights group worked to release the dolphins back into the wild.
Deport.
To force someone to leave a country, typically on the grounds of illegal status or for having committed a crime.
Examples:
Deport a refugee. Deport dissidents from the party. The government has decided to deport illegal immigrants back to their home countries.
Merit.
The quality of being particularly good or worthy, especially to deserve praise or reward.
Examples:
Merit-based. The order of merit. She was promoted based on her merits as a hardworking and dedicated employee.
Infect.
To affect a person, an animal, or a plant with a disease-causing organism.
Examples:
Infect other animal species. Infect a computer with a virus. Children often infect parents with this head cold.
Impose.
To officially force a new law, tax, duty, etc. to be obeyed or received.
Examples:
Impose harsher sanctions. Impose tariffs. The problem with achievement tests is the narrowness they impose on students.
Restriction.
A limitation or constraint placed on something, or the act of limiting or constraining something.
Examples:
Nutritional restriction. Restriction on trade. The restriction on travel during the pandemic made it difficult for people to see their loved ones.
Argue.
To express differing opinions or points of view, often in a heated or contentious manner, to present a case or reasoning to persuade or convince others.
Examples:
Argue a case. Argue passionately. The couple began to argue over which restaurant to go to for dinner.
Detain.
To keep someone in official custody, to prevent them from leaving.
Examples:
Detain a terrorist. Detain for investigation. The police detained the suspect for questioning.
Pose.
To present a risk, problem, or other issues that must be addressed.
Examples:
Pose a significant threat to my company. Pose a challenge. The chemicals pose a massive health risk.
Economy.
The system by which a country or region produces, manages, and distributes goods and services, including the money and finances involved in these activities, of an airline, the lowest priced, most basic option for seating in commercial travel.
Examples:
Economy of scale. Economy class. The economy of the country is struggling due to the recent political instability.
Moral.
Concerned with the principles of what is right and wrong, fairness, honesty, etc.
Examples:
Moral hazard. Moral burden. Ethics deals with moral conduct.
Violation.
An action that breaches a law, rule, or agreement, an infringement of rights or duties.
Examples:
Violation law. Commit a traffic violation. The international community has widely condemned the violation of human rights.
Principle.
A fundamental law or truth that explains or controls how something happens or works.
Examples:
Principle of treatment. Principle in business. Efficiency isn't an essential principle here, fairness is.
Practically.
Almost or nearly.
Examples:
Practically constant. Practically impossible to find a parking spot. The store is practically empty.
Underground.
Under the surface of the ground, a secret group organized to achieve a specific purpose, such as overthrowing the government or occupying a force.
Examples:
Water flowing underground. Underground activist. Having underground parking has been very beneficial throughout the winter.
Disclose.
To make something, such as secret or new information, known publicly.
Examples:
Disclose a secret. Disclose a vulnerability. The curtain rose to disclose a fantastic set.
Individual.
A single person or thing, as distinct from a group.
Examples:
A private individual. Individual freedom. As an individual, he had the right to make his own decisions and live his life as he saw fit.
Communal.
Belonging to or used by a group rather than individuals, for common use.
Examples:
Communal swimming pool. Communal combination of funds. Communal elections were held in several European countries.
Purport.
To claim or suggest that something is true or has a particular character or quality. Noun, the intended meaning of a communication.
Examples:
Purport to answer the question. The main purport of his speech. The document purports to have been signed by the president, but the signature is a forgery.
Transmission.
The act or process of sending something from one person or place to another. The process of broadcasting over the airwaves, as in radio or television.
Examples:
Transmission speed. The transmission gears of a car. Education is the transmission of civilization.
Practical.
Of or connected with actual use or real situation rather than with theory and ideas.
Examples:
Practical English. Gain practical experience. Her concept is highly practical and helpful.
Dread.
To be very afraid of or worried about something that is going to happen or that might happen.
Examples:
Dread failure. Dread getting old. We all dread to think about what will happen if the company goes bankrupt.
Disease.
A disorder or illness that affects the body or mind, often characterized by specific symptoms or abnormal functioning of organs or systems.
Examples:
Disease prevention. Disease control. The doctor diagnosed him with a rare disease that had no known cure.
Banish.
To send away or exile, especially permanently or as a punishment, to ban or prohibit.
Examples:
Banish all terrors. Banish my wrinkles. The queen banished the traitor from the kingdom.
Afflict.
To cause pain, suffering, or distress to someone or something.
Examples:
Afflict with the plague. Afflict the economy. The disease can afflict both humans and animals.
Exile.
The state of being forced to leave one's country or home, typically for political or punitive reasons.
Examples:
Exile community. Political exile. The exiled king lived in poverty in a foreign country for many years.
Leprosy.
A chronic infectious disease that affects the skin, nerves, and mucous membranes and is caused by the bacterium Mycobacterium leprae, characterized by disfiguring skin lesions, nerve damage, and the loss of sensation in affected areas.
Examples:
Leprosy treatment. The spread of leprosy. The World Health Organization is working to eradicate leprosy from all parts of the world.
Policy.
A set of rules, guidelines, principles, or procedures that govern decision-making or action, often used in the context of business or government. A course of action or plan of action adopted or followed by an organization or individual to achieve a goal or objective.
Examples:
Health policy. Foreign policy. The company's new policy on remote work has made it a more inclusive workplace.
Superstition.
A belief or practice that is not based on science or reason and that is often connected with a religion.
Examples:
Superstition in religion. Believe in superstition. There is a surviving superstition that black cats are a symbol of bad luck.
Virus.
A tiny infectious organic material that causes disease in people, animals, and plants.
Examples:
Spread of the virus. A strain of virus. An infected person in the hospital will likely pass the virus to others.
Colleague.
One of a group of a coworker, especially in a profession or a business.
Examples:
Collaborate with colleagues. Former colleague. I decided to seek counseling on the advice of my colleague.
Attitude.
The way you think and feel about someone or something.
Examples:
Attitude toward mistakes. Attitude control. She had the attitude that work was fun.
Enforce.
To make sure that people obey a particular law, rule, or situation.
Examples:
Enforce the law. Enforce a contract. Governments make rules, and police enforce them.
Decide.
To make up someone's mind about something. To come to a conclusion or judgment after considering options.
Examples:
Decide a question. Decide on a course of action. She couldn't decide whether to order the pizza or the pasta for dinner.
Relate.
To establish a connection or association between two or more things. To narrate or tell about an event, experience, or relationship. To empathize or feel sympathy with someone or something.
Examples:
Relate a story. Relate a message. He tried to relate his experience to the group, but they couldn't understand.
Infection.
A condition in which pathogenic microorganisms or viruses have entered the body.
Examples:
A bacterial infection. Treat the infection with antibiotics. Hospitals must meet various standards to prevent nosocomial infections.
Inject.
To put a liquid such as a drug or other substance into a person's or an animal's body using a needle and syringe equals small tube.
Examples:
Inject under the skin. Inject a personal opinion into a debate. Let's try to inject a bit of enthusiasm into your performance.
Transgender.
Relating to or denoting a person whose gender identity does not correspond to that person's biological sex assigned at birth.
Examples:
Transgender person. Transgender rights. Many transgender individuals face discrimination and marginalization in society.
Vulnerable.
Capable of being hurt or influenced physically or mentally.
Examples:
A vulnerable bridge. Vulnerable parts of the body. Infants and pregnant women are particularly vulnerable.
Compassion.
A strong feeling of sympathy and sadness for another's suffering or bad luck.
Examples:
Feel compassion for the poor. Have compassion toward the accident. His infinite love and compassion for everyone never weary.
Universal.
Existing or affecting everywhere or everyone.
Examples:
Universal life. Principles of universal design. The picture earned near universal acclaim from critics.
Violent.
Involving or caused by physical force or aggression against someone or something.
Examples:
Victim of a violent crime. Violent incident. The protesters became violent when the police tried to disperse them.
Discriminate.
To treat a person or particular group of people worse or better than another, especially in an unfair way, to recognize or perceive the difference between people or things.
Examples:
Discriminate against women employees. Discriminate between different things. You should not discriminate against minorities.
Unfortunately.
By bad luck, unluckily.
Examples:
Unfortunately caught in a shower. Even more unfortunately. The treatments were done, but, unfortunately, were unsuccessful.
Counterbalance.
To offset or balance the effect of something by applying an equal or opposite force or effect. To provide a counteracting or balancing influence for something. Noun, a weight or force that is used to balance or offset another weight or force.
Examples:
Counterbalance the seriousness of the topic. Counterbalance the effects. The heavy weights on one end of the scale counterbalanced the lighter weights on the other end.
Mass.
A large amount of a substance with no definite shape or form, a large number of people or things grouped or crowded together.
Examples:
A mass of molten rock. Critical mass. The mass of people who do not own property is politically impotent.
Judgment.
The ability to form valuable opinions and make reasonable decisions.
Examples:
An emotional judgment. Deliver a judgment. Her judgments are consistently rational and sensible.
Misinformation.
Information that is false or inaccurate, or the act of giving wrong information, especially deliberately.
Examples:
Misinformation about a vaccine. Combat misinformation on social media. The government called for caution against pseudoscientific misinformation about vaccines.
Specifically.
Only associated with or meant for one thing.
Examples:
Designed specifically for men. For specifically American customers. This ad campaign is aimed specifically at young women.
Pun.
A humorous play on words or use of words that sound similar but have different meanings, often for a comedic effect, a form of wordplay.
Examples:
Witty pun. Silly pun. The comedian's pun had the audience laughing out loud.
Prejudice.
A thought or feeling that is unfair and makes no sense, mainly when it is formed without enough thought or knowledge.
Examples:
Deep-rooted prejudice. Color prejudice. This community is free of social prejudice.
Ignorance.
Lack of knowledge or information about a particular subject or fact.
Examples:
Ignorance of the law. Ignorance is bliss. His ignorance of the situation led him to make a poor decision.
Rewrite.
To write something such as a book or speech again in a different way, usually to improve it or add new information.
Examples:
Rewrite a composition. Rewrite a world record. I need to rewrite most of the essay with feedback from my teacher.
Tradition.
A belief, custom, or way of doing something that has been passed down from generation to generation within a group or society.
Examples:
A tradition of a culture. Against tradition. It is a tradition in many families to have a big Thanksgiving dinner with all their relatives.
Religion.
A deep conviction in a supernatural power that controls human destiny.
Examples:
Religion sociology. Freedom of religion. Their religion strictly prohibits them from drinking or gambling.
Nick.
A small cut, notch, or indentation in a surface or an edge.
Examples:
A nick on the fender of a car. Nick on my hand. The interviewer arrived in a nick of time.
Convict.
To prove or declare someone to be guilty of a crime. Noun, a person serving a sentence in a jail or prison.
Examples:
Convict him of manslaughter. Convict in a jail. He was convicted on fraud charges and sentenced to 5 years in prison.
Exposure.
The state of being in a particular situation or place where there is no protection from or guarantee to something harmful, the disclosure of something secret.
Examples:
A southern exposure. The exposure of a fraud. The long exposure to the air tarnished the antique tableware.
Offense.
An illegal act, a feeling of anger caused by a perceived insult to or disregard for oneself, the action of attacking an enemy.
Examples:
Minor traffic offenses. A first offense. Parental indifference to their children leads to juvenile offenses.
Committed.
Willing to put in a lot of effort, time, and energy into something, firmly believing in something.
Examples:
In a committed relationship. Strong and committed sales staff. Our company is strongly committed to meeting customers' needs.
Unacceptably.
In a way that is not acceptable or satisfactory.
Examples:
Unacceptably high prices. Unacceptably poor. The restaurant's service was unacceptably slow.
Severity.
The quality or condition of being severe, strict, or harsh.
Examples:
The severity of cold. High severity. The severity of the drought was a major concern for farmers.
Punishment.
A penalty or consequence inflicted for wrongdoing or offense, a means of enforcing discipline or preventing further wrongdoing.
Examples:
Punishment for a crime. Humiliating punishment. The judge gave severe punishment to the criminal who committed the heinous crime.
Felon.
A person convicted of a serious crime, an offender of the most serious kind.
Examples:
Serial felon. Convicted felon. The robbery was committed by a notorious felon previously convicted of armed robbery.
Lifetime.
The duration of someone's life or of something's existence.
Examples:
Lifetime benefits. Lifetime ban from the sport. She had lived through 2 world wars in her lifetime.
Offend.
To cause someone to feel upset, angry, or annoyed.
Examples:
Offend his sensibilities. Offend a customer. His rude comments offended many people at the party.
Unfair.
Not giving equal treatment or opportunities to people involved, marked by injustice, partiality, or deception.
Examples:
Unfair employment practices. Have an unfair advantage. In a democracy, it is necessary to monitor the judiciary to see if it is making unfair decisions.
Ineffective.
Not producing any significant or intended effect or result.
Examples:
An ineffective speech. Pull an ineffective player. These treatments were ineffective against a virus.
Stem.
The central part of something from which other parts can develop or grow, the part of a word common to all its inflected variants. Verb, to grow out of, have roots in, or originate in.
Examples:
Stem from a belief. The stem of a matchstick. A rose has thorns on its stem.
Tide.
The cyclical rise and fall of sea level caused by the moon's gravitational pull.
Examples:
Tide cycle. Ride the tide of change. Red tide is often harmful to the local ecosystem.
Flout.
To openly disregard or disobey a rule, law, convention, or authority, to mock or ridicule something or someone.
Examples:
Flout his order. Flout the rules. The politician decided to flout the law and run for office, despite being ineligible.
Stigma.
A mark of shame or disgrace associated with a particular circumstance, quality, or person.
Examples:
Social stigma. Stigma against obesity. The mental health stigma often prevents people from seeking treatment.
Unofficial.
Not authorized or recognized by an authority or organization. Informal, not having an official status or position.
Examples:
Unofficial sources. Unofficial statement. The Election Commission did not yet confirm the unofficial results of the election.
License.
An official permission or authorization to do, use, or own something. A legal document that grants the holder the right to perform certain activities, such as driving a car, practicing a profession, or using a particular product or service.
Examples:
License renewal. Software license. Before driving, ensure you have a valid driver's license.
Pregnant.
Having a baby or young animal developing in the uterus.
Examples:
Needs of pregnant women. A silence pregnant with suspense. She vacated the position when she got pregnant.
Checkup.
An examination of a person's health by a medical professional, typically including a physical examination, laboratory tests, and diagnostic imaging.
Examples:
Regular checkup. Health checkup. I am going to the doctor for my annual checkup.
Nurse.
A healthcare professional who is trained to provide care for the sick or injured. Verb, to try to cure by special care or treatment of an illness or injury.
Examples:
Nurse practitioner. A volunteer nurse. The night shift nurse checked my vital signs before administering the medication.
Announce.
To make something known or officially inform people about something.
Examples:
Announce candidacy. Announce the award winners. The third season of the anime show has been announced.
Sterilize.
To make something free of all forms of life, especially bacteria or viruses, by using heat, chemicals, or radiation.
Examples:
Sterilize chemically. Sterilize surfaces. The nurse sterilized the instruments before the surgery to prevent any infections.
Labor.
Productive work, especially physical work done for wages, the people who do manual or physical work in a country or company for wage. Verb, to work hard or to strive and make an effort to reach a goal.
Examples:
Seasonal labor. Manual labor. In several countries, child labor is a serious social problem.
Strength.
The quality or state of being physically, or sometimes mentally, strong.
Examples:
Strength of the economy. Muscular strength. Health and strength are, above all, gold.
Estimate.
To guess or calculate the cost, the size, value, etc. of something.
Examples:
Estimate of fair value. Estimate this chicken to weigh 3 pounds. We estimated the season's total trade deficit at $50 billion.
Accord.
An official agreement or treaty between two organizations, countries, etc. Verb, allow to have.
Examples:
Accord with public opinion. By national accord. The organization finally signed a peace accord.
Tragic.
Causing great sadness or suffering, very unfortunate.
Examples:
Tragic love stories. Tragic death. The tragic events of the war left many families torn apart.
Broad.
Very wide, general.
Examples:
Attract broad attention. A broad mind. He accumulated wealth across a broad spectrum of assets.
Statistics.
The discipline that concerns the collection, organization, analysis, interpretation, and presentation of data.
Examples:
Statistics for cancer. Official statistics. The statistics demonstrate that poverty and unemployment are genuine problems.
Decline.
To become gradually smaller, fewer, worse, etc., to refuse to accept.
Examples:
Decline a job offer. Decline in quality. As people age, their digestive capacity also gradually declines.
Develop.
To grow or expand, to improve or refine through a process of progress and refinement, often to achieve greater sophistication or complexity, to elaborate or add detail to something that is in the process of being created.
Examples:
Develop a strategy. Develop a skill. We must develop a new system to streamline our workflow and increase efficiency.
Remarkable.
Worthy of attention because unusual or special.
Examples:
Remarkable achievement. The remarkable breadth of knowledge. The election was a remarkable success for the Whigs.
Retrovirus.
A type of RNA virus that uses the enzyme reverse transcriptase to convert its RNA into DNA, which then inserts itself into the host cell's genome, which can cause a variety of diseases in humans and animals, including HIV, human immunodeficiency virus.
Examples:
Retrovirus infection. Feline retrovirus. The patient's condition improved after beginning a retrovirus-targeted treatment regimen.
Therapy.
The act of caring for someone through medication, remedial training, etc.
Examples:
Therapy for a patient. Field of gene therapy. I underwent aversion therapy for my addiction to alcohol.
Medicinal.
Of or relating to the treatment or cure of disease.
Examples:
Medicinal chemistry. Traditional medicinal. The medicinal properties of this herb have been known to help with various ailments.
Shrink.
To become smaller, or to make something smaller in size or amount.
Examples:
Shrink the tumor. Shrink with fear. This shirt will shrink in the wash.
Epidemic.
The widespread outbreak of a particular disease in a large number of people at the same time.
Examples:
A worldwide epidemic. Health epidemic. The disease is now reaching epidemic proportions in our country.
Grip.
The act of holding on to something firmly with your hands, or the ability to do so. Verb, to hold fast or firmly.
Examples:
Grip of fear. Lose my grip. He had a firm grip on the rope as he climbed the mountain.
Tackle.
To try to deal with a complex problem or situation.
Examples:
Tackle the issue. Help tackle climate change. The government is determined to tackle sharp inflation.
Commission.
A formal instruction, command, or request given to a person or group, an official group of people entrusted by a government or other official body to control or enforce something.
Examples:
Commission appointed by the government. The commission of murder. She gets a commission on each contract.
Environment.
The natural world such as air, water, and land in which humans, animals, and plants live.
Examples:
Environment affairs. Chaotic environment. Every human is responsible for taking care of the Earth's environment.
Recommend.
To suggest that someone or something would be a suitable fit for a particular purpose or role.
Examples:
Recommend a hospitalization. Recommend reading. We recommend taking media training every 6 months.
Mention.
To speak or write about something or someone briefly.
Examples:
Mention name. Mention in a report. I mentioned to him that I had seen his sister at the grocery store earlier that day.
Contaminate.
To make something impure, unclean, or poisonous by contact or mixture.
Examples:
Contaminate with a disease. Contaminate his ego. We strive not to contaminate the environment when demolishing petroleum plants.
Injection.
The act of introducing a liquid, especially a drug, into the body using a needle and a syringe.
Examples:
Fuel injection. Injection needle. He received an injection of antibiotics to treat his infection.
Equip.
To provide a person or a place with the things that are needed for a particular purpose or activity.
Examples:
Equip an army. Equip our children with some special skills. The construction company equipped the building with an earthquake-resistant device.
Possession.
The state or fact of owning or having something.
Examples:
Possession of the evidence. A territorial possession. That painting is my possession, and I inherited it from my grandmother.
Illegal.
Not allowed by law.
Examples:
Illegal drugs. Child of illegal immigrants. The customs agents seized the illegal shipment.
Mere.
Used to emphasize how insignificant or minor someone or something is.
Examples:
Mere acquaintance. Mere incident. He lost the election by mere votes.
Suspect.
To consider anything to be true or probable.
Examples:
Suspect a plot. Suspect that he is sick. The cops suspected him of being the killer.
Detention.
The act of holding someone in custody, especially as a punishment for a crime they are suspected of having committed.
Examples:
Detention center. Immigration detention. The government is criticized for the prolonged detention of political activists without trial.
Suppose.
To think that something is likely to be actual or possible.
Examples:
Suppose you're right. Suppose beforehand. What do you suppose the culprit's motive was?
Absolutely.
Without restriction or limitation, completely or utterly.
Examples:
Absolutely against. Absolutely obsessed with the girl. I am absolutely opposed to his idea because of morality.
Ample.
Enough or more than enough, having plenty of something.
Examples:
Ample opportunities. Ample evidence. We have ample time to finish the project before the deadline.
Incarcerate.
To put or keep somebody in prison or in a place from which they cannot escape.
Examples:
Incarcerate the murderer. Incarcerate her for life. He was incarcerated for the duration of the war.
Reduction.
A decrease in size, amount, or degree.
Examples:
Reduction strategy. A gradual reduction. The reduction in carbon emissions has been significant since the implementation of the new policy.
Involve.
To include or affect someone or something as a necessary part of something else.
Examples:
Involve a lot of paperwork. Involve a high degree of risk. The investigation involves several government agencies and is expected to take several months.
Needle.
A thin, pointed object typically used for sewing or medical purposes, a metal or plastic instrument used for administering injections or drawing blood.
Examples:
Needle prick. Sewing needle. The acupuncturist inserted needles into specific points on my body to alleviate my pain.
Syrinx.
The vocal organ of a bird, a primitive wind instrument consisting of several parallel pipes bound together.
Examples:
Dogs with a wide syrinx. Spinal syrinx. The shape of a bird's syrinx varies greatly depending on the environment in which it lives.
Opioid.
Substances that have an effect similar to opium, such as morphine, used in medicines to treat severe pain, but some people take them illegally for pleasure and become addicted.
Examples:
An opioid analgesic. Opioid receptor. Treatment for opioid dependence may be a long-term process.
Substitute.
A person or thing acting or serving instead of another one. Verb, to act as a something or someone instead of another one.
Examples:
Substitute coffee. Substitute teacher. I substitute skim milk for regular milk because we are on a strict diet.
Condom.
A thin rubber or plastic sheath worn over the penis during sexual intercourse to prevent pregnancy or the transmission of sexually transmitted infections, STIs, between partners.
Examples:
Condom brand. Safe condom use. Using a condom during sexual activity is one of the most effective ways to prevent unwanted pregnancies and sexually transmitted infections.
Striking.
Interesting and distinctive enough to draw notice, exceedingly appealing, frequently in an odd manner.
Examples:
Striking innovation. Striking evidence. The two plays have a number of striking parallels.
Introduction.
A preliminary explanation or remarks given before the start of a text, performance, or event. The act of bringing something new into existence or introducing something to a wider audience or new market.
Examples:
Introduction education. Self-introduction. The introduction to the new class was informative and engaging.
Resist.
To refuse to accept something and attempt to prevent it from happening.
Examples:
Resist temptation. Resist being kissed. I chose to resist cancer by trying every possible treatment.
Stringent.
Strict, severe, or demanding, requiring close attention to rules or regulations, extreme or excessive in some way.
Examples:
Stringent measures. Stringent requirements. The school has a stringent attendance policy that allows for no more than 3 absences per semester.
Trend.
A general direction in which something is changing or developing.
Examples:
An international trend. The trend away from television. the oil price continued their downward trend.
Criminal.
A person who has committed a crime.
Examples:
Wanted criminal. Criminal investigation. The police are searching for the criminal who stole the jewels.
Fuel.
A substance that is typically burned to generate heat or energy.
Examples:
Biomass fuel. Smokeless fuel. The manufacturing sector was most severely impacted by the fuel scarcity.
Vaccine.
A substance that is put into the body and protects them from disease by causing them to produce antibodies, equals proteins that attack harmful bacteria, viruses, etc.
Examples:
Development of vaccines. An oral vaccine. The mRNA vaccine was approved in less than a year because it did not contain the fragments of the target virus.
Rocket.
A large tube-shaped object that moves very first by a stream of gases let out behind it, used for space travel or as a weapon.
Examples:
Rocket attack against the enemy. Rocket fuel. The rocket launch platform is visible from this hill.
Progression.
The act or process of changing to the next stage or phase or moving forward.
Examples:
Progression of civilization. Progression of disease. The company has made great strides in its progression towards sustainability.
Legislation.
A law or a set of laws suggested and then passed by a parliament, or the act of making or enacting laws.
Examples:
Anti-terrorist legislation. Introduce legislation. Similar legislation had already been rejected by the parliament 4 times.
Government.
The group of people with authority to control a country or state.
Examples:
Government bureaucracy. Government funding. The federal government is planning to increase taxes for the next fiscal year.
Repeal.
The act of officially canceling or making something no longer in force. Verb, to officially cancel or make something no longer in force.
Examples:
Call for the repeal. Repeal bill. The repeal of the law was met with mixed reactions.
Touchy.
Easily offended or upset, or sensitive.
Examples:
Touchy subject. A little touchy personality. The touchy situation required careful handling to avoid further conflict.
Process.
A series of actions or operations performed to achieve a particular outcome or goal. A systematic procedure or approach used to accomplish a specific task or objective. A method of treating milk to make it suitable for consumption or use in other dairy products.
Examples:
process improvement, decision-making process. The process for applying for a visa can be lengthy and complicated.
Underway.
Having started and currently in progress.
Examples:
just getting underway. Campaign now underway. This project has been underway for several years.
Reform.
The act of improving or correcting something wrong or bad. Verb, to make a change in something to correct a flaw or improve it.
Examples:
economic reform, reform movement. The government is proposing a reform to the healthcare system to make it more accessible and affordable for all citizens.
Outreach.
An effort to extend help or services to people who may not be aware of them, often in a targeted manner. The process of establishing connections and communication with a wider community or audience. Verb, to reach out or make contact with people or groups to offer help, support, or information.
Examples:
community outreach, student outreach. The nonprofit organization's outreach program helps the homeless community by providing necessities.
Distribute.
To give something to a large number of individuals, or to spread or furnish something.
Examples:
distribute wealth evenly. Distribute video content. His estate was distributed to his sons.
Harassment.
The act of repeatedly annoying, tormenting, or persecuting someone in a way that is threatening or unwelcome, often relating to issues of race, gender, or other identities.
Examples:
sexual harassment, emotional harassment. The company has a zero-tolerance policy for harassment in the workplace.
Abuse.
The use of something in an incorrect or harmful manner.
Examples:
the problem of drug abuse. Victim of sexual abuse. Our company has an audit team that monitors directors for abuse of authority.
Arbitrary.
Based on chance or individual whim rather than any reason.
Examples:
arbitrary size and shape. The arbitrary rule of a dictator. He collected data to avoid arbitrary decisions.
Arrest.
To take into custody.
Examples:
arrest the thief. Arrest the progress. A police officer has the authority to arrest a criminal.
Judge.
A person who makes decisions in a court of law. Verb, to determine the result of or form a critical opinion of something.
Examples:
judge a competition. An associate judge. The strict judge ruled in favor of the plaintiff in the case.
Flexibility.
The quality of changing or being changed easily according to new conditions or situations.
Examples:
Mental flexibility. The flexibility of the body. We dealt with those problems with speed and flexibility.
Tolerance.
The willingness to accept or tolerate something, especially something that is different or unpleasant.
Examples:
Religious tolerance. Tolerance for risk. The school's diversity program aimed to promote tolerance and understanding among the students.
Retool.
To adapt, modify, or overhaul something, often a system or process, to make it more efficient or effective for its intended purpose or to meet changing needs or demands.
Examples:
Retool a strategy. Retool a business. We need to retool our manufacturing process and invest in new technology to stay competitive in the market.
Reinforce.
To strengthen or support something, especially by adding another material to it, to make a motion, idea, etc. stronger.
Examples:
Reinforce the military. Reinforce good behavior. We should reinforce the troops at the front line.
Interpretation.
An explanation or opinion of something, especially that is not immediately obvious.
Examples:
The interpretation of history. Open to interpretation. His interpretations of literary works are often unique.
Abstract.
Based on general ideas, feelings, or qualities and not on any of physical or concrete existence.
Examples:
An abstract noun. Abstract science. The invention of the camera triggered the development of abstract painting.
Threat.
A strong indication or likelihood of harm, danger, or adverse consequences. An expression of intent to inflict harm or injury on someone or something, often made as a means of coercion or intimidation.
Examples:
Economic threat. Environmental threat. The threat of severe weather prompted the city to issue an evacuation warning.
Arcane.
Mysterious or known only by a select few.
Examples:
Arcane knowledge. Arcane subject. The arcane rituals of the secret society were known only to a select few.
Specialize.
To become an expert in a specific career field, study, or business.
Examples:
Specialize in childcare. Specialize in market research. The restaurant has chefs who specialize in beef.
Democracy.
A form of government in which the people have the authority to deliberate and decide legislation, or to choose governing officials to do so.
Examples:
Democracy advocate. Principles of democracy. Democracy often entails inclusive capitalism as well.
Aspiring.
Desiring or striving for recognition or advancement, wanting to be successful in life.
Examples:
Aspiring prime minister. Have aspiring eyes. He was extremely generous to the aspiring young artist.